Welcome to today's deep dive. We're going to be exploring this idea of union of feeling and how it can help us unlock power, serious power. And for this one,
Okay.
we're drawing from a talk by Sharon Eubank,
Right.
who is first counselor in the Relief Society General Presidency
Yes,
of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
that's right.
Yeah.
Her talk by Union of Feeling We Obtain Power with God
Oh, that's right.
was given at the church's October 2020 General Conference.
Now, I know that the source material comes from a religious context,
Sure.
but stick with us here
Yeah.
because the principles that we're going to unpack apply. Whether we're talking about faith communities,
Yeah,
sports teams, workplace dynamics,
for sure.
even just getting things done with family.
Absolutely.
It's all about the power of unity to achieve something bigger than ourselves.
I agree.
To illustrate this, Eubank starts with a story about a young man named Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
What was that about again?
Pie.
Pie. Okay.
Delicious, tempting pie. So Gordon's mom had promised him his favorite pie if he finished his chores.
Okay.
So he gets it all done.
Yep.
And the pie is ready. But then his older sister, Kathy,
Oh, no.
comes in with a friend and asks for a slice.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Classic sibling rivalry.
Classic. I can totally see this happening in my own family.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So Gordon, being a kid who just worked hard for that pie,
Yeah.
says, nope, this pie is mine.
Of course.
Daddy gets upset thinking he's being selfish.
Yeah.
But later that day,
Okay.
she finds 2 slices of pie, neatly placed on plates with napkins and forks,
Really?
waiting for her and her friend in the car.
Wow, that's a twist. He could have easily held on to that pie, but he chose to share.
He did.
What made him change his mind? Was it guilt? Or did he realize that sharing the pie, fostering a sense of unity, was more satisfying than just keeping it all for himself?
That's the question, right? It
Yeah.
might seem like a small act, but it speaks volumes about Gordon's willingness to choose unity over division,
Right.
even when it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy.
And it sets the stage for this deeper concept of union of feeling that Eubank dives into next.
She brings in a powerful quote from Joseph Smith. By union of feeling, we obtain power with God.
Yes.
But what does that really mean? Is it just about everyone agreeing, or is there something deeper at play?
Well, there's definitely more to it than simply agreeing with each other.
Right.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Have you ever been part of a group where everyone agreed on the surface,
Mm-hmm.
but there was like an underlying tension
Yeah.
or a lack of trust?
Oh, all the time. Like everyone's nodding along,
Mm-hmm.
but you can feel the disagreement simmering just below the surface.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what union of feeling goes beyond.
Okay.
It's not just about presenting a united front.
I see.
It's about a genuine connection, a shared sense of purpose and understanding
Yeah.
that goes deeper than just words.
So how do we get to that deeper level of unity? It can't just magically happen, can it?
Well, Eubank outlines 3 strategies
Right.
for building this union of feeling.
Right.
And they're surprisingly practical, even outside of a religious context.
Okay.
The first one she talks about is having mercy.
Mercy.
She takes a passage from Scripture that talks about being generous with your substance,
Okay.
and she replaces substance with mercy.
That's a fascinating take. So instead of material things,
Right.
she's suggesting we should be generous with understanding and forgiveness.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's about seeing the best in others,
Mm-hmm.
even when they might not deserve it,
Right.
and extending a hand of compassion rather than judgment.
She gives this example of her Relief Society president who promised to keep names safe. Basically meaning speaking kindly of others and creating a safe space for them to be themselves.
Yes.
I really like that, but
Yeah.
isn't there a risk in being too merciful?
Mm-hmm.
Could it be misconstrued as weakness or be taken advantage of?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it highlights the complexity of this concept.
Right.
Mercy doesn't mean being a doormat or condoning harmful behavior.
Right.
It's about finding a balance
Uh-huh.
between holding people accountable
Okay.
while also recognizing their inherent worth and potential for growth.
So it's about creating an environment where people feel safe to be vulnerable, make mistakes,
Yeah.
knowing that they'll be met with understanding rather than condemnation.
Absolutely.
And that can be a powerful catalyst for growth and change.
Exactly. And that ties directly back to union of feeling.
Yeah.
Because when we choose mercy, we break down walls
Right.
and foster a sense of trust and connection.
Okay, so mercy sets the foundation.
Yes.
What's the next strategy for building unity?
Well, Eubank's second strategy is all about finding swing.
Swing.
She illustrates this with a story about the University of Washington's rowing team
Okay.
at the 1936 Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
These were working-class boys from small towns
Wow.
going up against elite competition. What's interesting isn't just that they won,
Yeah.
but how they won.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so
I love a good underdog story.
their coach realized
Okay.
that their strength wasn't in uniformity,
Uh-huh.
but in harnessing their individual differences.
Oh, interesting.
He encouraged them to find swing,
Okay.
that perfect synchronization where each rower pulls their weight,
Mm-hmm.
but also adjusts to the rhythm and strengths of others.
So it wasn't about everyone rowing exactly the same?
Not at all.
Wow.
They had rowers with different arm lengths,
Okay.
temperaments, and skills,
Uh-huh.
and their coach helped them coordinate these differences
Interesting.
to amplify their collective power,
Wow.
ultimately leading them to win Olympic gold.
That's incredible.
It is,
That's
yeah.
an amazing example of how embracing individual strengths
Right.
can create something truly remarkable.
It's pretty inspiring.
But think about how hard that must have been
Yeah,
to trust your teammates that much,
Yeah.
believe that your differences wouldn't hold you back. Yeah.
but actually propel you forward.
Absolutely. And that's a key insight here.
Yeah.
True unity isn't about erasing our individuality.
Ah.
It's about finding that sweet spot
Okay.
where our unique strengths complement each other.
I see.
Think about your own experiences.
Okay.
Have you ever been part of a team where this swing clicked into place?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I remember working on a project where everyone had such different perspectives and approaches.
Uh-huh.
Initially, it felt chaotic.
Right.
But once we figured out how to leverage those differences,
Yeah.
the results were incredible.
It's amazing how that works.
We achieved way more than we ever could have individually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just limited to teams.
Right.
This principle of finding swing applies to families,
Oh.
communities,
Mm-hmm.
even global collaborations.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that our differences are not obstacles to unity,
Right.
but rather the raw materials for something much greater.
So we've got mercy as a foundation.
Yes. And swing as this powerful force.
Powerful force, yeah.
What's the third strategy for building unity that Eubank highlights?
The third one is about consistently clearing away the bad
Oh.
as fast as the good can grow.
Mm-hmm.
She uses this allegory from Scripture
Okay.
about a vineyard owner
Right.
who's trying to save a beloved tree
Uh-huh.
that started producing bad fruit.
Oh, so this is about recognizing that building unity is an ongoing process.
Yes.
There's always going to be something that needs tending to, right?
Precisely.
Yeah,
It's not a one-time fix.
right.
It's a constant effort to weed out those habits or attitudes that hinder unity.
You know, I think we often focus on like the big dramatic moments of disunity, but it's those small everyday things that can have a huge impact over time.
Absolutely.
Gossiping, holding grudges, being quick to judge.
Yeah.
They might seem insignificant on their own,
Yeah.
but they slowly erode that foundation of trust and understanding.
Exactly. And it's so easy to fall into those patterns without even realizing it.
Right.
It's almost like a reflex.
Yeah.
So how do we become more aware of these bad fruits in our own lives?
Yeah. How do we do that?
How do we start clearing them away
Yeah.
before they take root and poison the whole vine?
Yeah. That's a great question.
It is a big question.
Maybe it starts with being more mindful of our thoughts and actions.
Okay.
You know, paying attention to how we react to others,
Mhm.
what we say,
Yeah.
the energy we bring to our interactions,
Absolutely.
and crucially,
Yeah.
being willing to acknowledge when we've messed up
Right.
and make amends.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating that inner awareness
Uh-huh.
and then having the courage to course correct when necessary.
Right.
And remember,
Yeah.
Eubank reminds us that we're not alone in this process.
That's good.
Just as the vineyard owner worked alongside his servants to save the tree,
Yeah.
we also have support available.
It's encouraging to know we don't have to tackle this alone.
Right.
But what does that support look like?
Well, Eubank brings in the role of Jesus Christ,
Okay.
who offers us mercy,
Mm-hmm.
helps us overcome our weaknesses,
Right.
and ultimately unites us with God.
Okay.
But even if you're not coming from a religious perspective,
Right.
the principle still applies.
Okay.
We can find support in friends,
Yeah.
family, mentors,
Mm-hmm.
or even just a belief in something larger than ourselves.
So we've explored these three strategies for building unity,
Right.
mercy,
Yes.
finding swing,
Uh-huh.
and consistently weeding out the bad.
consistently.
It's quite a framework.
It is.
But how do we translate all of this into tangible actions?
That's where Eubank's call to action comes in.
Okay.
She urges us to become a collective force for good,
Okay.
emphasizing that unity isn't just some lofty ideal,
Right.
but something with practical implications in our everyday lives.
So she's not talking about starting huge movements or anything like that.
Not necessarily, no. It's more about those,
Seemingly small, consistent efforts we make each day
okay.
in our interactions with others,
Uh-huh.
how we treat our loved ones, how we interact with colleagues and neighbors, even how we respond to strangers. It's those little things
Right.
that can create a ripple effect.
I love that. It makes this whole idea of union of feeling feel much more attainable.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not about waiting for some grand opportunity to make a difference,
Right.
but rather recognizing that each interaction is a chance to build unity,
Yes.
however small.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Eubank even gives these specific examples, like studying with a friend, putting children to bed, chatting with someone on the bus,
Right.
or working on a presentation with a colleague.
Right, yeah.
These might seem like ordinary moments,
Right. They do.
but when we approach them with intention, with a genuine desire to connect and understand,
Okay.
they become opportunities to strengthen those bonds of unity. It reminds me of that saying, be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes.
We often think about that on a large scale, but what if we applied it to these everyday interactions?
Right.
What if we intentionally chose unity in those moments,
I like that.
even when it's challenging?
That's such a powerful thought.
Yeah.
It really shifts the focus
Right.
from waiting for someone else to create change
Yeah.
to recognizing the power we each have to create those ripples of unity
Yeah.
in our own lives.
And those ripples, however small they might seem, have the potential to spread outwards,
They're good.
creating a more connected and harmonious world.
I think so.
So what are the key takeaways from our deep dive today
Well-
into union of feeling?
First, we uncovered the surprising power of unity.
Right.
It's not just a feel-good concept,
It's not.
it's a source of strength, a way to tap into something bigger than ourselves.
I agree.
We also explored those 3 practical strategies.
Right.
Mercy, finding swing, and consistently clearing away the bad.
And most importantly, we learned that unity isn't about grand gestures.
Yeah, it is.
It's about making conscious choices in those everyday moments,
Right.
weaving those small acts of kindness and understanding into the fabric of our lives.
Well said.
Eubank ends her talk with this quote
Yes.
from Jesus' prayer for unity. That they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be one in us.
Powerful.
It's a beautiful reminder that at the core of this idea is a yearning for connection,
Yeah,
this desire to experience that oneness that goes beyond our differences
absolutely.
and unites us on a deeper level.
It does.
So as you go about your day today, I encourage you to ask yourself,
Okay.
where do I see the greatest need for unity in my own life?
Good question.
What is one small step I can take today to foster that unity, to be a force for good in my own unique way?
It might be reaching out to someone you've disagreed with,
Yeah.
offering a helping hand, or simply choosing kindness in a challenging moment.
Now, if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, I highly recommend checking out the full text of Sharon Eubank's talk, By Union of Feeling, We Obtain Power with God.
Great talk.
You can easily find it online.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thought-provoking read that might just inspire you to discover your own ways to build unity and make a difference in the world around you.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time,